Hey, chiropractors, welcome to Modern Chiropractic Mastery with your host, Dr. Kevin Christie, where we discuss the latest in marketing, business, and professional growth with some of the leading experts in the industry. Welcome to another episode of Modern Chiropractic Mastery. This is your host, Dr. Kevin Christie, and today I'm bringing a solo episode, and we've titled it The Benefits of Being a Chiropractor. There's challenges of being a chiropractor, and we see it all over. People posting and concerns about student loan costs and what you can earn as a chiropractor and our respect in the healthcare community and the insurance reimbursement. We hear a lot of the negatives. We hear a lot of the hard things that it is being a chiropractor, dealing with certain types of people that we have to deal with. And there's just no doubt that there's challenges, but at the same time, I think we've all have a lot of friends in other professions. I know I do. Talk to other types of doctors. I talk to other types of professionals, and every industry has its issues. We just don't see the issues. It's almost like how you see someone's sizzle reel on their Facebook, how great their life looks, but you don't know if it is or not, right? You don't know the underlyings of their lives. And it's the same thing with certain industries. Like you may think it's great that orthopedic surgeon's life, they make 600,000 with no sweat, but have you ever, kind of talked to an orthopedic surgeon, how challenging the life is and how expensive, running a clinic is and the overhead and the type of staffing they have and the surgeries that go wrong. And, like it's just a lot, being on call in hospitals and working 70 hours a week. They have struggles too, right? Maybe not a financial struggle as much, but they have others. And so I thought, I posted in the Forward Thinking Chiropractic Alliance Facebook group. There's always a just great amount of engagement in there. And so I wanted to post, the things they loved about being a chiropractor, the positives. And there's a ton of great answers in there, a lot of engagement. So I kind of sourced that. If you haven't been in that group, I highly recommend it and asked to join that if you're an evidence-based chiropractor, but really good group. And so I just had posed that question, right? And just going to run through some of them that are positives because, again, just like the world, right? The world's hard, but you can choose to enjoy life and have a great life and in a world that's hard, or you can choose to dwell on how hard the world is or how bad it is and be miserable because of it. And it's the same thing with our profession or anybody's profession. You can choose how you want to look at this. And so we're going to go through the positives of what it's like to be a chiropractor. And so here are some of them. Not this doesn't pertain to everybody, but these are some that pertain to a lot. And I think, I do have a fortunate view of like I talk to a lot of chiropractors. I coach chiropractors, I mastermind group, I, interview people on the podcast. They just get a unique opportunity to see the gamut as it is for our profession. And so a lot of these that I mentioned, there are plenty of chiropractors that have this. And frankly, there's plenty of chiropractors that are making a very good professional living. And so I know you can too if you start to do the right things over and over and over again, right? But here we go. One of the ones was many more integrated settings with hospitals and orthos and performance facilities. That didn't exist as much back when I graduated 20 years ago. And now you're seeing, I know some chiropractors that are heading up clinical side of performance facilities with professional athletes. That's awesome. I had that opportunity in my career. Orthopedic clinics and hospitals, big hospital groups doing it, VA. So there's a lot of cool opportunities there, and people that are in those settings tend to really enjoy that. Another one is, obviously the half days. A lot of chiropractors have half days, right? We typically have Saturdays, Sundays off, and then typically have 2 more half days. So it's kind of like 4 full days of work out of 7. I know a lot of chiropractors have Fridays off. They have 3 complete days off a week. So that's pretty cool. As you get later on in your career, I know many chiropractors like myself, I work a couple days a week with patients. And I'm not only working a couple days a week. I spend a lot of time with MCM. But I treat patients twice a week, and if you build a business down the road, you might have that ability as well. But the schedule is pretty friendly, right? Um, the 2-hour lunches someone mentioned, that's definitely a nice one. Obviously, we're probably doing notes and things like that, but there's a lot of other healthcare providers where they're kind of eating a sandwich on the run, right? And we get to have our 2-hour lunches. Let's take a break from today's episode and announce our first sponsor. This is going to be Propel Marketing and Design. I've known Darcy Sullivan for years. We've worked hand in hand on my websites. I don't trust anybody else to do this search engine optimization. She does a great job. There's so much to it. A lot of the lingo and the words are beyond my comprehension, but it's just amazing work that she does. And if you're really going to get results with Google, you have to make sure your website is SEO optimized. And I really don't want you doing it yourself as a chiropractor. So you just have to have this type of stuff done. And if you're looking to get more organic online traffic that pulls in new patients, Propel Marketing and Design is currently offering chiropractors who listen to this podcast a free SEO website review. The free review will help you uncover methods that will improve your website and boost your search engine visibility. Head over to propelyourcompany.com/chiropractor and schedule your free SEO website review. You won't regret it. She gets great results. Your website needs this. Your search results need this. Head on over there to propelyourcompany.com/chiropractor to get your free SEO website review. Obviously, like the common theme that was on there was just, I think we sometimes forget because we get mired in the weeds of treating patients, but how unique it is on this grand scale of humanity, whether it's the 8 billion people that live on the earth now or in, Earth's time of all the people lived on there. How many people actually get to heal people, like, and help people in that way where you actually heal conditions? That's pretty cool. That's pretty rare, and it's pretty impressive. So you really need to take solace in that too, right? Another one is the benefits of entrepreneurship. I do believe the entrepreneurship can be a double-edged sword. I do believe some people get into entrepreneurship that probably shouldn't, and I think that's one of the struggles with chiropractic. But there's a lot of benefits of being an entrepreneur, setting your own schedule, setting the parameters, what you want to do, how you want to do it, building a business, building a side hustle, right? So I think the entrepreneur nature of chiropractic is a positive. It can be challenging, but it's a positive for sure. Another one is we talked about briefly, but flexibility of scheduling patients around time with kids' family sporting events. Someone had mentioned of that where they block off times ahead of time, get their kids' sport or dance, whatever schedule, and go in ahead of time and go in and block that off. Leave at Thursday at 3:30 p.m. instead of 5:30 p.m. that particular Thursday because you're not going to miss a sporting event and you just block it off and you don't schedule patients there, right? Someone mentioned on here, and I do know people that do this. I or have this combination. I do know people that have this combination. They typically worked hard, very hard for a period of time, built something really good. But he mentioned making six figures in 20 hours per week. You can do that. Typically, the mistake I'm seeing, and kind of a joke, but not a joke, with the younger DCs is wanting six figures and working part time and treating 10 people a day. That math doesn't typically add up early on, but if you work really hard for a period of time, in your 40s, give or take, you can pull that off. And I know many that do. And so that's rare in the grand scheme of most professions. And we do have that ability to do it. Someone mentioned we have a movement based day and not stuck behind a computer and Zoom calls all day. I can't stress that one enough. I know our job is physical, but typically it's not on the like physical construction type physical labor and that type of stuff. It definitely is physical, but I think the amount of movement we do get is so good and not being stuck behind a computer and Zoom calls all day. Talk to people that do that all day. They are not happy. So movement based day, I love that. Next one is great social interactions all day, combats loneliness. There's that Harvard study that showed over like 100 years or something, the people that had the highest level of happiness was all based on relationships. And I do think there is an epidemic of people that work from home and sit at a computer all day, and lack of a social life outside. Some of them don't have families, some of them do, but they don't have any relationships outside of the family, which is really big struggle for people nowadays. And we get just great social interactions all day long, which is awesome. Let's take a short break for one of our great sponsors, TrackStat. It is a new type of software plugin for your EHR that combines patient communication, marketing, automation, and statistics with patient and employee tracking. Built by chiropractors for chiropractors, it shows your team what to focus on each day. See patient visit habits, missing information, unpaid bills, insurance collection visit average, and more. Great visibility of data so you can focus on filling your office with your best patients. When you can see what your staff and patients are doing or not doing and take action accordingly, your profits naturally grow. Take TrackStat for a test drive in your office with our free trial. Not a techie, no problem, we can help. To get started on your free trial, visit trackstat.org and watch the demo. That is trackstat.org. Impacting people in communities, that's huge. We talk about healing, but in general, we can impact communities for sure. You get to pick when you take a vacation, someone mentioned. You definitely get to pick when you take a vacation and how much vacation. Someone mentioned a large scope of practice. Obviously, that depends on what state you're in, but yeah, like I'm in Florida, we have a pretty large scope of practice, which is awesome. We typically have a much less or lack of hospital administrative load and red tape, right? That can be tricky for sure. Someone mentioned providing jobs to other people. Yeah, I think that's a big thing. I think that's a lot of satisfaction out of that. You're providing a livelihood to other people when you build a business and do this right. The ability to potentially purchase the office real estate. This is something I think is a very big positive. It's not for everyone. It's not necessarily a smart idea for everyone. If you're in very expensive areas, it can be very challenging and not something that could be worthwhile. But yeah, I was able to do it back in the day when it was able to do it in my area. It's a little challenging now with the cost of it, but yeah, purchasing real estate, your practice being the main renter is a benefit. And then lastly, AI can't replace your hands, right? That's a lot of people are scared of the AI thing because of what it's going to do to their jobs. And it's going to be a long time. I don't think it's going to be anybody that's a current DC now is going to worry about AI replacing their hands, right? Could replace other things, but I don't think it's going to replace the hands. And it could enhance people's desire to get treatment by human beings, right? And so that was a list. I thought it was really good. A lot of positives. I want you to kind of take a time to sit down, especially early in this year, write down which of those positives or any others that you have that offset the negatives, right? If you're making 85,000 a year right now and you're 30 years old, 35 years old, would you rather make $135,000 at some corporate job behind a Zoom call and hate it and hate your life around it? Or would you take the 85 with your benefits that you have? Now, I want you to get to buck 35. I want you to get to a 235, and you can build a practice that can allow for that, even in the current insurance reimbursement. You can do that. Let's take a short break from today's episode to tell you about the best decision I've made in my clinic in the last 10 years, and that has been adding shockwave therapy to our clinic. The outcomes have been really impressive. Certain conditions we were struggling with in the past, we're now seeing results with the shockwave therapy for that. And second of all, the ROI has been really good. When you make a big investment in something, you want to see a return, and we're seeing that return in clinical outcomes and in our investment, and that's been really nice to see. I chose Keenest Medical for 4 reasons. One is the technology is top notch. You have to have great technology. There's a lot out there that isn't quite up to snuff. The second thing is they have a really good clinical training. They have an exclusive partnership with Academy of Shockwave Excellence so that you can become clinically proficient in shockwave. you do need to get skilled at it. I think that's a big differentiator between practices that are getting great results and seeing the ROI is they have a great clinical aspect to that as well. So you want to get trained appropriately. Third is they have in-house service team for all of your technical support, which is key when you're investing in a machine like this. And then lastly, they have a very in-depth marketing and business support for you so that you can launch this into your practice effectively, that you can get that ROI on it, that you can get the clinical outcomes. And they also have really good financing options if you need that. So go to kinasmedical.com, KINAS medical.com, mention MCM podcast and receive a free Shockwave in practice book with a purchase of a unit. So that's kinasmedical.com, KINAS medical.com, and mention MCM podcast. I want to leave you with this. I referenced it before. I really like Cal Newport's work. He has a lot. I reference his deep work stuff a lot, but he also is in the midst of writing a book called The Deep Life. And he breaks it down into 4 things: community, craft, constitution, and contemplation. So, community, obviously we know what community is: family, friends, etc. But you're also your work community, your team members, your patients, like I talked about. You It serves a deep life, the social component you have at work. That's a big one. You have quite a community as a chiropractor. Craft, work, and really honing your craft. If you sit down and really try to keep on getting better as a chiropractor and work towards that, it's a never ending pursuit, but it's working on the craft and having that. A lot of people hate what they do or they see no meaning in it. We have that built in. There's a lot of meaning with what we do, and you might just need to hone that a little bit and improve the craft, right? The third is constitution, which he has kind of in parentheses health. I think we know a lot about health. We have a movement-based job. We have access to other chiropractors who can help us out. We know, I know not all of you are maybe healthy, but you know what it is, and I think it gives us a leg up. A lot of chiropractors are. I bet you if you took a cross section of chiropractors, we're probably healthier than other healthcare providers, and we're probably way healthier than the general population. So, being a chiropractor helps with constitution. And in contemplation, which would be, he has in parentheses called matters of the soul, whether that's religious stuff, meditation, maybe it's mindfulness or wellness practice you have, stoicism, right? That would be something that maybe we don't naturally get from our profession. It could, but consider that. And he talks about if you can really hone in those 4 things, that is how you can have a deep life. And if you can do that, I think you can become more resilient against all of the challenges that our profession and frankly our world faces. So I hope you take this into consideration. A little bit of homework, of write down all of the benefits of your current situation as a chiropractor, and then how can you improve your deep life between community, craft, constitution, and contemplation. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. And if you want to make the shift from busy, broke, and broken to time-free and cash confident, or you just want to continue with the exponential growth, check us out at modernchiropracticmarketing.com. Look at the MCM Mastery tab, watch the short video on there, and check out what we are doing now for evidence-informed chiropractors. We are equal parts coaching and marketing done for you. Yes, you shoot some videos, we help you with campaign strategies and ideas and really become a thought leader in your community. You shoot those videos, you send them to us, we produce, edit, and brand them to you. Then we distribute them through all of your channels. We also take them and we turn it into one good blog per month. And every other month, we have Darcy Sullivan producing a robust blog with a topic that you pick from her database to help with your SEO. So we essentially become your content marketing agency to make sure your practice is always having ethical, elegant content marketing to help grow your practice. On the coaching side, we also help you with everything from marketing ideas to business, communications, finances, anything practice growth, and really try to help prevent you from being stuck on that island. And we hold you accountable. We have a great group of doctors that are just doing amazing things, and we look forward to help you out to take that next step in your practice. So again, check us out at modernchiropracticmarketing.com and learn more.